Good morning, Om Swastiastu, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. We would like to say thank you to God, the Sang Yang Widiwasa, because of His blessing. The writer could create a final project entitled Poetry for Improving Student Vocabulary with the Scaffolding Learning Method. And then we would like to say thank you to Dr. Nikomang Ariswastini, SPD MPD, as the lecturer who teach poetry course. We are from group 1. There are Nikomang Julia Dewi, Kadek Noviana Dewi, Lorate Perdani, Komang Indah Permatasari, and Rizku Wairara. Well, this presentation will be started by Rizku.
All right, thank you. So I will start with poetry for improving student vocabulary. Poetry is the oldest genre of literature that has been extant of many years. Kyler in 1999 stated that poetry already existed back then to the ancient great literature. On the other hand, poetry as a promising instrument in learning language is a belief can improve student ability and skill in terms of reading, speaking, listening, and writing. Next, the goal for junior high school, the subject is English and grade class 7, and the semester is semester 2. The topic is be objective. The learning objectives, there are two. First is the 3.5, that is identify social function, the text structure, and linguistic element of spoken and writing. The second is 4.5, that is establish very short and simple spoken and writing transitional interaction. Then next, the method is the discovery learning. According to Balim in 2009, discovery method is believed to give construct approach that can make students learn more efficiently by constraining their own knowledge. There are 6 points in the discovery method. That is, first is simulation, problem statement, data collect, data processing, verification, and generalization. The next continued by Indah.
Well, thank you, Rizku. I'm Indah, and I'd like to explain a little bit about the material. Well, because the subject matter that we choose to teach the 7th grade of junior high school about adjectives, so we will explain a little bit about material about adjectives such as the to be adjective and then the formula, and then we also explain the definition, and then the formula such as to be plus adjective, to be plus not and adjective. This is for the negative sentences, and also for the such as questioning. So this is the formula, questions to be an adjective. And we will also explain the social function and also language feature about the adjective. And for the material, for the media also to improve students' vocabulary in order to make they are fluent in learning adjective, we will use English poem. So we choose a poem entitled Little Things, and then we will also explain a little bit about stanza, hyperbole, rhyme, personification, metaphor, and also simile as the principle how they can learn from this poem. The next is the strategy to improve students' vocabulary to make them fluent in learn adjectives. So actually we use a rhyming game and also nursery rhyme. But I'd like to explain about the rhyming game. So actually rhyming games are games that help students improve their vocabulary skills by trying to find other words that match or have the same vowel or consonant sound. So from this game, they are learn a lot to find vocabularies, and then also rhyming games is such as strategy that really easy to combine and also interesting for the students. And for the strategy to use the rhyming games, so we will use a bamboozle, and then from that games, so this is the game. So from this game, they are expected to guess what kind of a picture that will be appears in this in this game, and then from the pictures they must to guess what it is in English, and then they should make sentences, and then it will be a complex poem. So they will be divided into two groups based on their absence number, and then they also at the end of the game they are also must mention any vocabularies that they have remained after playing this game. So that's vocabularies will be the knowledge for the students to learn about the adjective later on. So that's about the rhyming game strategy, and the next is nursery rhyme will be presented by Kak Julia.
Thank you, Indah. So nursery rhyme, it is a short form of lullabies for children, and it was introduced orally from one generation to generation. And nursery rhyme, it is involved a lot of vocabularies, especially with adjective. And the strategy to use nursery rhyme, it is become will remind them about their favorite song when they are in kindergarten, and their famous nursery rhymes. So teacher have a lot of choices to use poem to increase their adjective, and next is YouTube, and it will make the learning activity more fun but still meaningful. Next slide. We will have some steps to use vocabularies to teach a student about adjectives with discovery learning method. So the title of the nursery rhyme that we choose is "This is a happy face." The first step suggests based on the syntax of the learning method. So we will stimulate the student with question, and then second, we will drive student question answer to the title of the song, and then we will play the videos, invite student to sing together, and then instruct the student to find out the adjective vocabularies from the nursery rhyme, and the last we will have discussion. So the next slide we will inform the main activity of our lesson plan. So we have divided the time allotment. It will take one meeting about 90 minutes. So there are three stages. The first one is pre-activity as opening, and the main activity has three parts: phase 1, 2, and 3, and then the last is post-activity or the closing. The first activity, it is opening activity, takes 10 minutes. So the student and teacher will join the virtual meeting by Google Meet, and then teacher will build the atmosphere with greet the student, and then invite to pray together, and then also check the attendance to make sure student ready for the meeting today. And then after that, a teacher will inform the learning objective and also benefit for them, and inform the learning method so student will know the what is it the step of the activity. Teacher also will try to connect the last topic with main activity. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. The next is when the teacher play the song from YouTube and then invite students to sing together a few times, so student will know well about the lyrics and also how to pronounce it very well. After that, student will list what they found about the adjective from the nursery rhyme. They will find out how to pronounce it correctly and also the real meaning. And after that, they will um, invite to present individually what they found, and other friend can give comment if have any other opinion or critique. So that is the activity for the first phase. And then next we'll present by Rate.
Well, thank you, Julia. I will continue about phase 2. Here, the teacher divide the student into two group based on their absent number. After that, one by one, student choose one number that consists of picture in bamboozle. After that, students should make
Rate, it is
one poem, and then sentence about the picture and followed with the next students until it will be a complete poem by their own. After that, the students take a note and of the result of the game and read aloud the poem. Next slide, please. And then when the games start, as long as the game start, teacher keep giving reinforcement and feedback to the students. For the last activity, after the game finish, teacher asks students to remain again what new vocabularies that they have learned. And then teacher inform the students that the vocabularies they have learned by as the knowledge to learn about the adjective. And then the teacher explain more about the material using PowerPoint and videos. And then the teacher asks if there's any question of something to clarify. Next slide, please. In here, for the phase 2, for the assessment, there are written tests and performance tests. Uh, those teacher ask the students to answer the multiple choice question to assess students' cognitive, and then student work in pair, make a short dialogue about telling one of their friends related to his or her physical appearance and behavior, and then the students ask to make the video about their performance and submit into Google Form. And then the teacher will give the due date for the student to finish all of the assignment. And then for post activity here, teacher and student draw conclusion about the meeting today. And then virtual meeting is ended. The student can take their time to start progressing. And here for is assessment instruction for written test. We choose multiple choice question. The instruction are the teacher send the test link to WhatsApp group, and then teacher inform the time allotment about 30 minutes, and then the teacher inform the instructions such as students answer multiple choice, student required fill their identify, student answer the test, and then when finished submit to Google Form. Here are some example of written test that our group use, and then for assessment instruction for performance test, we use a short dialogue, and then teacher send link through WhatsApp group that include instruction of the assessment as a sample of conversation video, and then teacher asks the student to read the instruction, who was the example of the conversation, and then create short conversation with their peer, and then record a conversation and then submit the video recording to Google Form. And then on WhatsApp group, teacher inform the due date of the video submission to the students. And here the example of performance test that our group use. Well, thank you about my presentation will be next by Novi.
Well, I'm Noviana. I'm going to explain about the rubric performance test that use a short dialogue. There are 8 points of the performance. There are the content, the organization, vocabulary selection, and then the mechanics, the grammar option, the fluency, pronunciation, and also the intonation. Teacher will giving the score for each content, which is 3 for the good one, 2 for the less one, 1 point for the inappropriate. Finally, the total score obtained from the gain score divided by the maximum score and multiplied by 100. For the example, if the gain score is 21, it would be divided by the maximum score, which is 24, and multiplied by 100. And the result is 87.5. Well, in conclusion, poetry could be used for improving and enrich students' vocabulary in the learning process, and one of the methods that could be used by the teacher is discovery learning method. Well, teacher who use discovery method in learning will make students turn out to be more confident. Well, in this method, teacher could use the rhyming game and also nursery song. The rhyming game will able to make students to think critically and effective to make students remember new vocabularies. While the nursery songs are interesting for students, they can sing and learn at the same time. At last but not least, considering 21st century, rhyming game can be conducted in Bamboozle, while many nursery songs are available on YouTube. In fact, vocabulary is the heart of any language, since without having enough storage of vocabulary and students will not be able to understand English well to communicate with their peers or to express their own ideas in front of others. Well, that's all from our explanation. Thank you for your kind attention.